Hi, I'm Greg. Welcome back to the shop, the Real G-Pops Workshop. And if you are new here, just welcome. So in my last video, I showed you where I put a custom dust port onto my table saw. In this video, I'm going to show you the port I put on my miter saw and my jointer. And I'm going to get into the system that I purchased and what it's replacing. I had a 12-gallon shop vac as my primary dust collection system for a long time, and it was long overdue to get an upgrade. But what I'm not going to do is get into the volume of air versus speed of air. You can get an anemometer and you can get all those numbers, and there are a million videos on YouTube where someone has already done that. So we're going to save that for those guys. But what we're looking for is improvement. We started off with one system, we upgraded to another for health and safety reasons, and I'm going to show you what I did and how it improved my shop. Well, I used a 12-gallon shop vac on my miter saw and jointer. I used to use this 16-gallon shop vac on my table saw before I installed my 4-inch port. But now that that's done, this guy, he's out of here. With that guy out of the way, let's have a bit of a recap. This is the 4-inch dust port that I installed, trimmed out in oak, connected to a 2.5-inch pipe, connected to the table saw. Came out pretty snazzy. Okay, this is my current dust collection. It is a 12-gallon shop vac with a myriad of blast gates, 3 to be exact, connected to a miter saw, a jointer, and a hose that I use just to clean out the shop. Is it ideal? No. I recently added a 4-inch port to the side of my dust collection shroud for my miter saw. In addition to that, I added a 4-inch magnetic port to my jointer. So this is what the dust collection is like solely with the 12-gallon shop vac. Future Greg here. You're about to watch a section in this video where I make a cut on this same piece of wood and it's unsupported, so it bounces around in the back. What I'm going to show you now is what I should have done. In an attempt to make some dust or make a quick cut, I took a shortcut. This is what should have happened. Now, there are a number of ways to make this cut safely. What I'm going to do is show you one. I'm going to show you one way not to do it, which is coming up. And right now, I'm going to show you how I should have done it in that section. So, I want to cut a small sliver off of this. What I'm going to do to make it safe is to put a board behind it so that when I cut this piece off, it won't go flying through the gap that's right here. So let's see what that looks like. Notice how this didn't move? That's what this piece is for. And that's why this is a safer cut than what you're about to see. So do this, don't do the other part. I just left it in because that's what we do. Well, as you can see, that did not go well. There's sawdust all over the floor that was perfectly clean before we started. Now let's clean this up and do it with the dust collection system on. Now this is where my little hose shines oh so well. The shroud is a huge help. So, next cut I will turn on the side port. Now, while there is still dust to be had, it is significantly less than it was before. And what we're looking for is improvement. I'm going to do that cut again. Now, as I was making the cut, you could visibly see the sawdust being sucked into the side port and being withdrawn from this area. And even with those cuts, it is significantly cleaner than it was without this on. Is it perfect? No. No dust collection is, if someone says it is, they might be a little suspect. So again, we are looking for improvement. This is much better than the shop vac by itself, and much, much better than no dust collection system at all. And what this also affords me is when I use my jointer, which we all know produces a great deal of sawdust, that is sucked right out. Also lucky for me, this is such a small shop and I live in a state where it doesn't rain. Well, at least that's what the song says. So my door is open most of the time. The dust collection system is outside in the open air, and any residual sawdust that is left, yeah, we get the blower and we just blow that right out. It works for me. Another thing that's convenient for my small shop is having the jointer connected directly to my miter station. So this time we're going to put the suction on the jointer. We're going to fire it up. Now the beauty of the jointer is that there is no dust left inside the shop as it gets sucked out into the dust collection system. So again, what we're looking for is improvement over our old friend, the shop vac. Did we get that? Yes. Of course, you could pull out the anemometer and start checking cubic feet per minute, yada, yada, yada. But at that point, you're just stuck in the minutia. What you're looking for is improvement over your current setup. And for me, getting away from the shop vac, getting to a more robust system is definitely helping my shop. Okay, now we're going to start demolition of our existing system. This is the current dust collection setup for my miter saw. Well, at least this is half of it. I was able to take out the third port that fed the jointer, and now we only have a direct connection to the miter saw and to the cleanup hose. In addition, we'll make use of the 4-inch port, and the dust collection for the miter saw is complete. Now, the beauty of the way my shop is configured is that this open door system allows me to operate my miter saw, jointer, and table saw on the dust collection system, which resides outside. But you're gonna always hear folks say, oh, these collect dust, these put out dust. They do. They're not perfect. What this affords me is the ability for this to be taken away with the atmosphere. The other benefits of living in a state where it doesn't rain. So with a click of the blast gate, I can shut off the miter saw and the jointer. And then I can turn the system on the custom side port. And I can use this independently, and whatever I'm working on, bounce back and forth between machines and keep a relatively clean shop. Now the dust collection system I picked up is from Vevor. It's the 1550 CFM model for those that are into crunching the numbers. I added the MagLink connectors just because it's convenient when you have this sort of setup where you want to be mobile and your dust collection isn't fixed. I'll show you what I did on the back end. I added some semi-storage for the hoses to make it easy to transport. I upgraded the casters from the stock ones that came with it because, of course, the stock ones never roll very well. And who wants stop? And for me, it's quick and convenient to load everything up, unplug, and roll out. Now this system has the 3 horsepower motor. Again, you have the 3 ports. I added the PowerTech blast gates just because it was quick and simple, and I actually like the way they work so far. I added a bar across the back, and this was basically for hose management. It allows me to just stash the hoses over the back, makes it cleaner, easier to move. Again, upgraded the casters. It rolls really smoothly. And again, for me, this is just an improvement. Definitely much better than a 12-gallon shop vac. It affords me less time with the blower in my hand, blowing out the shop, and keeps things, including my lungs, a lot cleaner. So is this ideal for everyone? No, because you need somewhere to put this. Luckily, I have enough room on my property. I can store it outside of my shop, and it's not in the way. And when I need to use it, it's outside, so I'm not concerned with any air that's being pushed back into the shop, because that is easily sucked out into the atmosphere. And this is what it looks like in the wild. I can take the dust collection and connect it to my planer, connect it to a table saw, connect it to a miter saw, or whatever else I'm using. If I'm working on a large project, I can bounce back and forth between machines and get things done quickly. And I know it sounds cliche, but this was definitely a game changer when I put this 4-inch port on my planer. It is so much cleaner and easier to use right now. I put a port on my portable table saw. And here we are, back home. This helped my shop greatly. It's a lot cleaner, a lot safer, and more fun to use actually. Should have done this a long time ago. So I want to thank you for making it this far. Hope you found something in this video that was useful for you, maybe to even make some changes in your own small shop. As you can see, I have a hybrid system now. I kept my 12-gallon shop vac. I'm utilizing my new dust collection system. I don't mind you having the hoses in here because I have a large outdoor space that allows me to use the fresh air to keep the shop that much cleaner. With that said, please like, subscribe, comment, and share, but mostly subscribe. You guys have been doing a great job according to the analytics, but let's keep that going. And I'll catch you on the next one. for watching.